Hey everybody, Brooks and Drag Times here, day 2 with the Tesla Model Y. If you missed the previous video yesterday, that was full battery of performance testing, 0 to 60, half mile, quarter mile. Link in the description, go ahead and check that out. But day 2, a lot of people commented in the video, they want to know build quality on the Tesla Model Y. That's not something I normally do, however, I'm stuck at the house and can't really do much. So I got the Tesla Model here. I'll go ahead and go over the build quality, the paint, some of the interior stuff as well. But first I got to give it a quick wash because I took it out yesterday, got it quite dirty. So to give you guys a good idea of the paint and the build quality, I'm going to go give it a quick foam bath, come back, and we'll go through the entire car and you can let me know what you think. Let's get started. All right, so first up, I'm sure I'll get some questions about how I used to wash the car. I got a pressure cleaner here with a foam attachment that I use, and then a Master Blaster air dryer over here that I got hanging on the wall. This thing's pretty cool. I'll put links in the description for both these, but basically this blows out heated air, which allows you to dry most of the car with not touching it at all. Definitely not an expert detailer, but I did what I could. But let's talk about first some of the changes that come, this Blackout Package. So this satin finish on the door handles and the trim. Usually all this comes chrome, like on my Model 3. But now on the red and some of the other colors, it actually comes this black anodized finish, which is really nice. So you can kind of look in here and see this nice finish there. They also do it on the door mirrors here, as well as all the trim around the side. So really, really happy with this kind of Blackout Package. A lot of people just add later on. So I'm just going to go around the car and a couple of things that I picked up, but I'm going to go over it in pretty detail so you can make comments in below on things that I probably didn't see. Let's go through it now. All right, so we'll start from this door trim area, which is what a lot of people comment about. You can actually see alignment is a little bit off. There's a little edge, this kind of drops down a little bit, comes back over here, and then same thing, a little kind of misalignment of the door. I don't know if the door goes up and down or not. I actually didn't even notice that until I was doing this video. So there you go. Let's look at some of the panel gap around this side here. Okay. Trunk looks good. Down to the headlights. Little spot here. This kind of looks normal. So I'll kind of come along the edge here so you can get a good look. That looks fine there. Kind of look at the bumper coming through here onto the hood, which looks really nice. Down to the mirror. Let's drop down here. Gotta say, I really like the wheels in this finish, this dark kind of gray finish, which matches the wheel arches as well. Since this is a crossover SUV, it's got those parts which are not painted. All right, so on to the passenger side of this door trim. Actually, this side is much better aligned than the driver's side, if you can see right here. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better right there coming through. Now let's look at the rear bumper area. You can see this kind of right here. This looks really good. And then down here, I did notice this, which is definitely a little weird. You got this large gap here. It looks like this should be pushed up more like that instead of kind of sticking out. So that's actually on both sides. Same thing. Let's go back on the rear. Here is the nice carbon fiber spoiler, which looks really nice. Nice add-on when you get the performance dual motor. Let's look around the trunk area here, come down. I think it looks really, really good. No major misalignment with the trunk left and right, or the hatch you might call it. Go up through here. There is some kind of wax remnants inside here that maybe they didn't get out when they detailed the car. Back over to this side. Same thing, this looks really, really good. And then back over here you can see that this definitely could be pushed up some more. It looks like the door is actually in pretty good. But there, now on the other side down here as well, you'll notice this same piece feels like it could be a little more better aligned right there. Now one thing to notice, there's no trailer hitch option, but there's clearly a knockout for a trailer hitch right here. So I wonder if there will be some towing options later on, optional for the Model Y. Now back here on the rear of the car, you can see right here where this plastic piece comes down nice and uniform, and then down here it kind of gets just a little bit wider, and then you can see this doesn't match up. You got this kind of edge there, so I feel like this should probably be sitting right like that. I have to apply quite a bit of pressure to keep that there though. Onto the other side, same thing, kind of uniform down to here, and then down here you can see the edge doesn't quite line up right there, and it gets a little more space there. Again, if I push this in like that, it seems to line up really well. I don't see any pieces in here that would help me get that lined up very well. All right, so now onto the paint. Now I don't think I've ever got a new car where the paint was absolutely perfect. I think the closest car that I got with the best paint over would be this Ford GT right here. And that's because, well, they probably spent more time painting and finishing and touching this Ford GT than they took to build the entire Model Y over here. The McLaren, pretty good. Good paint job as well, but I think the Ford GT is probably the best paint I've ever seen. Even my detailer, who was doing the wrap and color correcting the car, said Ford did an amazing job on the Ford GT. All right, so on to the paint for the Model Y. Overall, very, very good. When I picked up the car, it was actually outside, which is really hard to do an inspection. And I got out of the Tesla dealer really, really quick because there's a lot of people coming to check out the car, and I just didn't want to deal with a lot of people given what's going on with the coronavirus and everything. So as you'll see in my last video, I did a quick video of the car and then just got out of there as soon as I could. So a couple things on the paint. I did notice, it's really hard to see, but there's a little kind of blemish right in here that it might be hard to catch the light, but like right here, there's a slight kind of blemish, which I believe will come out with some color correction and some buffing. On to the back of the car where I noticed a couple other things. This is the multi-coat red, which I've had before. So if I come on back here, there's another couple of paint imperfections, which I'm seeing right here. And of course, this is really hard to tell if you can actually see them or not. Other than that, one other thing I did notice on the paint in some of the corners, this corner right here, I think you can see, let's see if we can focus in right there. You can see this little edge. Looks like primer right there. All right, so on to the hatch. Let's go ahead and pop the hatch. It's nice that the Model Y has this power hatch. That would have been a welcome addition to the Model 3, but as you can see, plenty of space in here. Way easier to use this space than it is the Model 3 over there with the trunk. One complaint I do have is that these big holes here, when you put stuff back here, which we've done already, things can fall over and drop into there, such as groceries and such. So I think this is a good opportunity for someone who makes accessories to make something that would kind of cover that area as well. Underneath, there's actually a lot of space, more so in the Model 3 down here. So you can store a bunch of stuff in there. And then, of course, the seats fold down. These are actually spring-loaded. There's a couple of switches here, there, and there. You can't put them back up. Now, as you'll see when you pull them back up, they're actually spring-loaded. So when you hit that button, it just drops them down. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of space and this car. I would love to compare it against my Model X that I used to have, but I don't think I'd be giving up much. Maybe a little bit of height right here, but not much at all. Looking at some of the other build quality issues, let's see. There's something over here that looks a little unfinished. It's a part of the welding process maybe. And there's a little smudge kind of right there as well. If you can see this. Not something I would normally even pay attention to if I wasn't doing this video. It's not something you would ever have problems with at all. All right, so back around to inside the car. To put these seats back up, all you do is have to raise, pull up here. It's spring-loaded, not too hard to put back up at all. Same thing on the other side right here. Pop up here, pull the seat back up, and there you go. Actually, there's plenty of space. In the Model Y, you actually sit higher up, quite a few inches over the Model 3. And I'm about 5'10" and got plenty of leg room. And these seats up here are basically in where you would normally be as riding in the front seat. So plenty of space. One note, it's weird, they did mix up the USB ports. These are USB-C right here and USB regular in the front. I don't see any cup holders right here. I think there is something over here that folds down. There you go. So we got cup holders sitting here in the center console area. Kind of nice to rest your hand right here. That's nice if you don't have 3 people back here. So very comfortable in the back seat here on the Model Y. So build quality on the inside, I mean, this is kind of a plastic soft material. The headliner is this light material. This would be much better in black. I don't know why they decided on this. You used to be able to choose in the Tesla what headliner you wanted, but in this you can actually put the seat belts up and down. This is adjustable here as well. But the seats are nice and comfy, and the materials are pretty soft for this level of car. It's very nice. You've also got coat hangers back here in case you wanted to hang some coats. Back here you can see the full glass roof here. This does not open, but it goes all the way back. Lets in a lot of light, but it's also pretty hot. And I think we're gonna have to get this maybe a little darker tinted later on. Onto the inside of the front of the car. You can see we got some Alcantara type material here with the plastic finish here. We got the black interior, power seats of course, and plenty of room in front. As you saw in the back, I was able to sit just fine. And in here I can sit just fine as well. This is leather covered or similar material. Alcantara, again, the white headliner. What's new on the Model Y also is this wireless charging. So you could just drop your phone right in here and it lights up and starts charging right away, which is nice. You can actually charge on both sides, so you can do 2 phones over on that side as well. Now once inside the Model Y, it's basically a Model 3. It's kind of hard to tell aside from being much higher up. You got your same 15-inch touchscreen here. This is all the same aside from that wireless charging, and the inside fit and finish is just fine. I mean, I don't see any issues here. Inside the center console, you can open this up. It's got a tray here. You can pick that up. Down in here, there's a 12-volt cigarette adapter if you wanted to add some more power. Because this is taken here for the wireless, and this one I have for my SSD. This is actually used for storing all the dash cam footage. So I'm actually out of USB ports. So you can add a USB extender in here, or I'll probably just add a high-powered cigarette lighter to USB here that I can run my phone off of if I'm not charging on the wireless chargers. Usually I put my phone up here on a mount up here. Question I get a lot as of the last video, is there track mode in the Model Y? No, there is not. If you go to driving and scroll down, all you have is chill and sport and steering mode and regen and the stopping mode. There is no track mode, and you wouldn't think there'd be track mode in a Model Y anyways. It's not really for that. There is off-road assist. If you click on there, adjust the traction control to optimize safety features for off-road when off-road assist is enabled. There you go. And then slip start if you're stuck. I haven't tried that at all, but typically in my past experiences with the 3 and the S, that doesn't do anything. I really like the steering wheel in the Model Y and the Model 3. It's not that huge bus steering wheel that you get in the Model S. That huge steering wheel is ridiculous what you get in this car. This is much more comfortable to drive. And of course, with nothing in front of you, visibility is great in the Model Y and the Model 3, but basically pretty much the same. I did notice there's a camera up here. I wonder what they're using that for. don't know if you can see that or not, but maybe later on they're using that for some kind of driver assist to see if you're paying attention. If anyone knows what that's for, comment below. Now, another question I had was, can you change the wheel type in the computer here to see if more range shows up with the lighter wheels? And in this car, I do not see the ability to change the wheels. That's a really good question, but I don't see that here. Let's also check out underneath the frunk and see what we got in here. So quite a bit of space. It's got this kind of hard casing in here, tow hook right here if you need it. You got your washer fluid over here. But all the panels and build quality here look just fine. Little water got on here from washing the car. There is this donut kind of ceiling thing up on the top here. Maybe to stop water dripping in here if the car was to get wet. That's kind of different from what I've seen before as well. But a good amount of space in here, definitely more than the 3 in the Model Y. One thing I've always wished they had on these frunks is a soft close option so that you could just put that down and have that close. You actually have to be careful how you close it with 2 hands so you don't bend the aluminum hood. Here's a better shot of that blemish that I'm talking about right there. You can only see it when you have the exact right angle right there. I think that can be buffed out with no problems. All right, so there you go. Overall, the fit and finish, in my opinion, is excellent. I mean, sure, there's a couple little misalignments here and there. I'm sure if I took it back to Tesla, they could probably do some adjustments. But, I mean, this is an everyday car for us, and it's just not something that's that important to me or my family when we're driving this car. With regards to the paint quality is great. There are a couple blemishes here and there and a couple little paint defects. Nothing that wouldn't happen to this car when you put 10, 15,000 miles on it. Things are going to get chipped. Things are going to hit the paint. I mean, it's just not a big deal to me. Now, will there be refinements and enhancements along the way with the Model Y as it gets produced? I'm sure there will be. This car is in the 1800 range, so it's not one of the first one off the line. But nevertheless, I think the Model Y is a go. It's a great crossover SUV. That's what is selling in the market. A lot of car companies like Ford eliminated all cars in their lineup except for the Ford Mustang. I think Tesla coming to market with the Tesla Model Y, beating out that Mustang Mach-E electric SUV that Ford's coming out with at the end of the year. I think Tesla just has a huge head start on Ford, and I think they're going to be in trouble trying to sell that car for actually the same price or even more than the Tesla Model Y. Of course, performance on the Model Y dual motor performance is excellent. 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. I think Tesla's going to make that faster later on. Running 11s in the quarter mile at 115 miles an hour is just awesome for a crossover SUV. Even the slower, less expensive models are still going to be really, really fast. Overall, I think this is going to be Tesla's most popular car. It's more flexible, it's more spacious, it's almost as fast as the Model 3, and it's only $4,000 more than the equivalent Tesla Model 3. If you think I missed anything and you want to know anything more about the Model Y because you haven't been able to check out one, go ahead and put your comments in the below. I'll try to address that in either the comments or a subsequent video. As always, I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and we'll do some more videos with the Tesla Model Y as soon as possible. Out there, everybody, I hope everyone's staying safe. Do your social distancing. Do whatever it takes to get past this worldwide epidemic. Thanks for watching.